Michelangelo famously said that our greatest danger of to most of us is that not because we aim too high and not achieving it. Instead, we aim too low and we are achieving the same. We reach it. So from with Michelangelo, I'll go through some ironies of our life. All of the people, if you look at many people, what they are worried about, what they are anxious about, if you look at the topics, for some people it may be having a relation. But some people think, okay, if I have that relation, I will have. Some people think, okay, I don't have money, that's why I'm not happy. But some people worry that they have money and they have trouble in managing it. Similarly, some people have problem with having children or siblings. Similarly, some other way people think that, okay, if I have that, I will be happy. So in generally, all these variables, haves and have nots, is not something about happiness or greatness or fulfillment or meaning of life. Instead, the meaning is somewhere inside you. As Bible says, kingdom of God is within you. Our Quran says, if you want peace, come to my and just flow, just sublime into my spirituality. And what Gita and what Hindu scriptures, Laham Brahmasmi Tatomasi, like that. So from there, we have a new book today. It's by Lewis House, The Greatness Mindset. Unlock the power of your mind and live your best life today. It's important today. So let's get started. So a quick summary is book talks about this, mainly the topics we are going to talk. So we'll talk about good to great. Most people are just fine with what they are, just okay. They don't want to take too much because too much is going to take too much of troubles or something. So they are fine with that, settled. Or greatness mindset, how it is different, we'll talk there. Meaningful mission, that's what really make the difference. Viktor Frankl, the person who write the book Meaningful Man Search for the Meaning, used to tell that when we have a meaningful mission, when we have something to do, all of our focus will go there. Like desirable difficulties in Csikszentmihalyi topics, similar to that. Power, passion and problem. This is the three key points which will give you your opening to your greatness. Because everybody is here for something. They are here for something unique in this world, and they are here to create something beautiful to God as well. So we'll talk about Dane Johnson, the famous rock, and Sarah Blakely of Spanx, Robert Greene, who is a famous author, who 48 laws of power and laws of human nature and all these things about him. And we'll talk something about very common thing like fake it until you make it. That's what we normally tell it, but instead we will try to explain here, fake it until you become it. Boundaries, which is a famous topic. We are very difficult to tell no, and we have been struggled by people. Our judgment, our fears of success and all these things we'll talk there. We'll talk about some techniques called letters you're writing to yourself, because the main person who is the most important person you have to listen and you have to attend is you. So talking to you, healing to yourself, identity and success. We mostly consider everything as identity. If something is failed, we tell it's we failed there. So like if you have getting a gadget, a luxury gadget or Apple, that is going to add to your identity. So success, we are fear of judgment by other people, what other people will think about it, and so a lot of things such like. And the three important keys to greatness is business, relationship and wellness. That's there. We'll stay there. There are a lot of topics, but we'll quickly go through the chapters itself. Welcome to Book Tips. Myself Ramesh. Please follow us and for some special books and detailed summaries. Thank you. Chapter 1 Chasing Greatness. So, as I mentioned, there are multiple topics. This talks about Lewis Howes himself. He was just like somebody or nobody or Mr. Nobody who was a typical teenager who just tried to just spend his time or just stretch his time to whatever things he do, like sitting in the couch watching TV remotes like that and all. So that's how he feel like, okay, he can live by someone else's money. So his things about chasing greatness, good to great, survival mindset, he talk about there. Survival mindset rules majority. Many feel identities tied to your results. Because Robin Sharma famous used to tell that when ego go to sleep, then the spirituality wake up, or like when ego's soul is something in a God mode like that. We always want to be our best, but we are not able to. So one reason maybe this is the thing. And it talks about meaningful mission. The point is that if you have something which you care about or something which give you a meaning, it is more than anything. If you really think that something tangible is going to make you happy, like $1 million or something, actually not. If you have it, just imagine you have it. What will you do tomorrow? So you will try to do a lot of things maybe you are struggling to do now, but still that is not fulfillment. So even though maybe you hate the work you do now, but maybe that may be a chance or a cradle of fulfillment is also there. So chasing greatness is something like a man who just involved into something which demand his attention. That's what in the beginning we told. Viktor Frankl told that the man, when his life has a meaning, when he give his attention to something. So mainly we have 4 topics we have to take care when we thought about chasing greatness. First one is your identity. Make your identity not tied to something. Just make it isolated and try to improve that. Then thoughts. That is important parts to take care. 4 variables actually. So identity, thoughts, emotions. So you should be hungry for something which you want to be, and you can be polite on something, but you don't have to be always the good guy. Behaviors, all of the things what we spend on, mainly that involve habits and a lot of such things as well. So that's mainly chasing greatness. A quick summary about the chapter. Greatness alternative. So books talk about couple of things, but we'll go to the main part of it. Talks about a Navy SEAL, Jason Redman. He was a very enthusiastic SEAL and he got injured during one of the session and he was hospitalized, and it was somehow like he was not able to come back to Navy again. So what he done was something which even grabbed the attention of US president as well. What he done, he put a letter on outside of his hospital door. Whoever is coming and entering here, don't come here to sympathize with me. That's a summary of that. Letter is too long. I'm not taking that whole here, but just if you can something good about something or something else productive, come here, but don't come here just to share your sympathy or this one and all, because I'm resilient. So that thing actually fired even the notice of George W. Bush, and he invited him to White House, and that particular letter was signed by George W. Bush, and it was kept it in one of the military areas where the injured people of military is going. So somehow that's the passion of things. So attention to everyone. That's what we talk about that letter. So Jordan Peterson used to tell that parents used to make kids so much easy their life. Maybe that's also making us in trouble, because they used to define, or they used to protect and make the life easy for their kids, and they used to define what the success is. They will tell, okay, if you are in this particular stage, your success is achieving this much marks in this one, or going to this particular college, or being such this good guy, or so like that. But after some point in time, parents are helpless. They have to leave them to their own life, and then you become something like a car without a steering, and you don't know where to go. So they struggle in understanding the definition of success, and they find or settle on something normal. So no teachers, no parents, no meaning. That's not the case actually. Even though you have teachers there in school, you can still have teachers after school. Maybe this one, the books what we are talking about, Lewis House, is a teacher. He also is become such a teacher by learning from a lot of people. So every big people, very big like sports athlete or whoever it is, they have coaches, they are learning every day. So nothing is perfection. We will talk about perfection later. So John Glenn used to tell that from the book itself, he's tell that happiest people, something, they just find something more profound, their own self-interest. When you find something more profound than your self-interest, that's what make you happy. So generally what Lewis House is telling, he is having a podcasting thing. So he's interviewing all these people, and he's capturing all those contents and giving it to. So all what I quoted now, it is all from the book only. So that's about chapter 2, Greatness Alternative, Missing Your Meaningful Mission. So book initially talk about the famous or one of the most enthusiastic NFL a guy who is having an ambition to become an NFL player. But unfortunately, one day coach tell him, you are no more fit for this. So he went back and he just collapsed, or he was totally just crashed by that. And then he found out that he has something which is like his grandfather was a wrestler and all these things. So he go to work out and all these things. He was become the famous Rock Mavia. I'm not sure if Dane Johnson actually, maybe that name is more Rock as well. If you follow World Wrestling Federations and all, he was almost 6 to 7 years. He was a champion over there, and he's so passion, power, and problem. So that's what we mentioned. So if you find something you're passionate about, you don't need to have a drive to do something. And if you have a power, like for example, some of your strengths is in line with that particular passion or something, and then you have a problem to solve. Because greatness is not achieving by making you or a self-interest, as with John Glenn, until doing just more profound than a self-interest, like serving others. So when you find something which is a problem which you can solve, like actually all these millionaires, all these influential people, they are actually, the more people you serve, the more problem you solve. That's how, like Amazon solve a lot of people problem of getting an items. Like Microsoft used to solve the problem of the soft. So every problem is solving that solution to that problem, or how much it is impactful. That is how much worth or influential or meaning those things are. So find a problem as well. Book also talk about, because interviews, Lewis House interviews with Robert Greene. He was initially a newspaper, and this one he was doing a lot of things. Later on he find to understand, okay, I have a skill of writing. I want to impact people, so I should write a book. Then he started writing 48 Laws of Power, which become one of the bestseller, still a bestseller. So then that's the thing. So generally we should have something like, there he used to tell some steps as well in the book. What do you tell that? Just try to craft your perfect day. Just try to think about, visualize about it, what your perfect day look like. then write an itinerary to yourself. Okay, you'll do this and that and all, because greatness, as we know, Rome is not built in a day. Similarly, greatness is not built in a day. It is a result of a collection of intelligent and diligent efforts. So get a micro goal, small step. So if you do one step at a day, it will compound it, as Thomas Hardy said in Compounding Effect book. And also, as in the famous book Atomic Habit, we used to tell that 1% every day, it will count to 37% or 33 or something like that. It will reach that percentage in an year as well. So that's where it is. So let us go on further. Chapter 4, Fear 1 Failure. Because most of us, we are limiting ourselves to something is because of fear of lot of things. We are afraid. Maybe that's a survival mindset, because we are living as a being, because fear is essential for us to just do the flight and fright responses and protect ourselves as well. But that's not always the case. So fear of failure is one of the important things. Sarah Blakely, she was one day trying to find some inner wear which she want to wear with her white pants and without lining or this one and all. But she was not able to find it. And she asked her friends also. They were not able to find. Then she tried to make herself a product called Spanx. And that was somehow being rejected by a lot of people, and she just do herself. She was just a normal marketing person. Then she just do herself the product. And now it is $1 billion company. And her secrets is attributed to his father. Her father actually. Her father used to ask her and his brother, what is the failure you did today? Father is not asking about success. Most people celebrate success. But father used to ask about failure and what you learned from it. That way, Blakely was getting destigmatized with the failure topics. That was helpful for her. That's what she's telling. So, Jordan Peterson used to tell that our natural behavior is a famous author, is a survival mechanism, it mentioned. But there are two types of fear. Healthy fear and, like we call it, good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. Similar way, we have healthy fear and wounded fear. Healthy fear is somehow good. That is going to, but wounded fear, it is not. You have to heal that one. And failure as well. Because, for example, if you become successful, Robert Greene is explaining, Robert Greene was successful with 48 laws. Then he go and combine or collaborated with the 50 cents and he make a book called 50 Cent. But actually that book got failure. Then later on, he understand that what was the problem of his failure. His perspective was people are looking and it was missing in this book. Then he revised that book and he released it again as 50th law. It became a success again. So success is not a process. It's not an outcome, not your identity. So I'm telling success is a process, but it's not an outcome. It is not just depend on something, one incident or one event. It is not depending on your identity as well, because success is something, you are something else. You are one of the most beautiful or creation what God has created, and none of in the world is like you. So you can be as great as you can, and nobody can be as great as you as well, because they can be great as them as well only. Priyanka Chopra Jonas used to tell that legacy is what you do after your failure. So what you do after you fail, that's what like Thomas Edison used to tell that, okay, this is not failure. I find 1,000 ways not working. That's what it means. So similar to that. So fear 1, failure. Let's go to our fear 2. Fear of success. Fear of failure, natural. Because if you go to exam, you know what it is. Fear of failure. Similar way, another fear is fear of success. Will I succeed or? That's also people hesitate to do some meaningful things or very great things as well. Talk about somebody called Mr. James. He used to talk some cosmetic company. One similar story, maybe ambitious story you would have heard. I'm not going much there. So most people have something called imposter syndrome. Adam Grant used to tell it in his Think Again as well. Think Again, the book, famous book Think Again. You can have a read on that. So most people have imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is something tell that it is a very big majority of people, who, even the people who are in very good positions in life, they used to have this imposter syndrome. They feel like they are not that much capable for the particular thing they are doing. For example, you are a professor or a CEO or somebody that you feel that, okay, I'm not that much eligible to be that one because maybe I'm lucky or something. So some people try to de-evaluate themselves, which is called imposter syndrome. Mainly, Lewishowes is telling this is coming because they have an inside feeling that I'm not enough. When you are not enough, the point is that you're trying to do a lot of things. Even Lewis was trying to do a lot of things. Okay, I want to make the biggest company. I want to become this much. I want to do that one. You are trying to prove yourself that you are not somebody what other people are telling somehow. So that's the thing. So there was a fear things. We'll come to that particular topic later as well. But generally, if you put a long-term mindset, that will be an interest thing about success. Success is not something now, it's something about a long term. That way you will not fear about success on a short term. Change the definition of success, as we mentioned. Fake it until you become it. Because when you try to just follow it, like when you walk confident, you will get confident. So like when you try to just, you don't have to be degrade yourself. You can just fake it until you really become it. Just try to, if you want to become something, just try to do your part of doing the micro goals and all this, but fake it until you become it. Apple ad is mentioning about that. Think differently. They were for casting Luther King, Albert Einstein, Muhammad Ali and all. Something there. I'm not sure how much we have to talk about that. Let's go to the next. Fear 3, judgment. Making other people happy. We are fear about what other people will judge about us. Fear of judgment and disappointing other people. We don't want other people to get angry about us. We fear about what our parents will tell, what our teachers will tell, what our relations will tell, all these things. Many things are fear about that one. So just that one most important thing is that even there is somebody there, even it is your boss, everybody has some level of boundary. Like I used to tell that liberty is on the tip of the nose. Similar to that, everybody has some boundary. You don't have to accept everything. You are supposed to tell no to things. You are supposed to just gain, because nobody is going to speak to you more than yourself. So you have to stay in and always trying to buy peace, but no control or peace. We try to buy peace from somebody else. That's why we talk in the beginning, like Bible is, kingdom of God is within you. So that's the thing. But generally we try to buy peace, but we have no control or peace on this one. But you have fear make us less authentic and be hypocritic as well. Ego will tell you are enough. You are not enough actually. Because we try to just project ourselves with our ego, because we know that, okay, because even the process we are doing, some people try to take it one step forward and they're trying to do some actions, because that action also somehow may be based on to prove something. But somebody who just not doing anything, they are complacent, they are trying to project themselves using ego, but that ego is actually a manifestation of you are not enough. Something like that. The Sri Ravi Shankar, Lewishowes is mentioning, one lady in one of her event was asking, what will happen when we are not doing something on the climate change and all. So you're telling, when you're passionate about something, Ravi Shankar is telling, then I am sure you will act upon it. So that way, if everybody act on it, then it will be done. So that's the thing. So instead of judgment, think how to serve others. Instead of fear of judgment of others, think about how you can serve others. Boundaries and telling no. Just be with enemies and motivations. Like people, mainly most people They like, or the criticism or the enemies, actually they are the learning points for you. They can be motivation as well. In Susan Cain book in our channel itself, Bittersweet, used to tell the same, and a lot of other books as well tell the same thing as well. So generally I'm telling, instead of fear of judgment by what other people think, just try to do how can I serve other people. That way you don't have that problem of judgment. So quality of life, if you found an equation of life, success or something, it is the quality of equation is directly proportional to the quality of your questions you ask yourself. That's how it is. So dream 7, dream killer, self-doubt. So here self-doubt, maybe this is something which everybody have. The book talks about Lewis House, how his father used to tell that he don't used to celebrate his birthday. So Lewis House won't ask, why you are not celebrating my birthday? So what he tried to explain was very interesting, because Dad tell, I'm not celebrating your birthday, but I'm celebrating every day with you. Because every day counts and every action count as well. Feeling too young or too old, I don't want you to feel like you are too young by celebrating birthday. And same way, at some point in time, you feel like you are too old also. I don't want you to feel that way. That's why I'm not celebrating your birthday. I don't want to feel that you are not enough. Again, this is coming to the point. So generally, what is the solution for that is that you can think the opposite of that. You are enough. Whatever you are now, it is, or whatever you want to achieve, it is not dependent on something. You are actually enough now, but that is not something a limiting belief. That still can take one step. But what you are now is enough. If you settle on that, that is something like your kindness, your gratification, or you are just trying to appreciate what the God or the Almighty have given to you. So pay attention to your thoughts of yourself. Align yourself to the future. Pay attention to your thought, then be peace with you. Just appreciate and feel that you are enough and align it to future. As I mentioned, kindness, and two type of football coaches Lewis House is to mention. Some coaches are somebody like who is very nasty, very tough, and they just do like that. But there are some other people who are very tough, but still they'll be kind and appreciate, and they'll tell. So maybe you have lot of such people around you. Some people are very much nasty all the time. They don't give any other thing. But some people are tough on some certain situation, but indirectly they're giving you a message, okay, you can just evolve or transform using this one. So that's how it is. So surround yourself with positive people. That's another important part as well. So chapter 8 is your fear conversion toolkit. Not conversation, conversion actually. So create a fear list. That's an important thing. I'm sure everybody have a fear, but if you want to tackle fear, just write it down. Maybe you think it is simple, but it is not. Use them to extract what is inside the fear, because root cause of lot of fear will be something else actually. Change it if then to abundance. Just try to tell that, okay, if this happened, that is the thing. Use if then statement to write about your fear of this happened. Because Dale Carnegie used to have a formula of analyze or just solving the problem. It is a 3-step actually. First one is to analyze the problem or identify the problem. Second one is that accept the worst possible outcome for that. So you just don't want to worry about what, just accept worst case. So if you accept the worst possible outcome, then there is nothing left for you. Then after that, the third step is more important. Just understand how to minimize that. Because the beauty of this one is that you already accepted the worst case scenario. But then after that, you are trying to just improve that worst case scenario a little better. So somehow at the end, you are trying to get something better than that. And you are somehow indirectly overcoming your fear as well. So Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, used to tell that until you make unconscious conscious, until you make your subconscious conscious, or similar way, it will direct your life. I'll tell again, Carl Jung, similar to maybe a William James of that era. Until you make a unconscious conscious, it will direct your life. So until you take out that hidden unconscious stories or scripts around you, it will direct your life. Instead, you take control of your life. Be captain of your life. Visualize triumph. That's one of the exercises. Book has a lot of exercises, but I'm not going there much. But I appreciate you have a copy of the book and please read this too. Visualize triumph. Reward yourself. Take small step on fear. Always reward yourself for small steps, and then take a small step on fear. Chapter 9, healing your past. Everybody think, even sometimes people think that I don't have something to heal, but everybody used to have something to heal because we are surrounded by emotions and peoples and all. So drug lady used to tell that they have the story about a lot of people there. So used to heal others to change pain to wisdom. A lady who was drug addicted and famous, she tried to heal others by just listening to such people, and then that way. So adult, you should initiate heal. Narcissism object healing. If someone is stubborn or something, you try to heal someone else and they're very narcissistic. Actually, that narcissism actually a manifestation of objection to heal. They don't want to heal themselves. If you're telling, okay guys, this is not good. Oh my friend, why are you doing like this? Why don't you do something like that? But actually, if they object it, that is something like a definition of narcissist mentality. But actually, they are just protecting themselves. If you got a message, you are not worthy enough. Gabermat, the famous author who write The Myth of Normal and a lot of other books, Scattered Minds and all, is to tell that if you got a message in your childhood that you are not worthy enough, all your life you are going to rest of the life you are proving yourself that you are enough. But somehow that one there on the childhood is still there. It is not enough, but still you are going to prove yourself, no, I'm enough like that. But you will not have fulfillment because the past is not yet healed. So you have to heal the past. You have to make your inner child believe that, inner child feel that it is enough. Usually they rape victim. The Shefali, she's to the famous author actually. She used to tell with Lewis House tell that rape victim, they try to tie an event to themselves, like their identity is tied to a particular event, their lack of power. That's the thing. So steps is to mention that identify your numbing devices. Somehow if you have a trauma, you know what I'm talking about. You will have a numbness or all this out of control. So identify your numbing things. What do you get from that numbing? What do you get from that addiction? Try to understand that. Then there is the third step. Is this addiction serving my highest self? What Abraham Maslow told, that the highest fulfillment in his pyramids of achievements and all. Then the last is the most beautiful thing, is that write your younger self, write your younger child a letter. Send a letter, you write yourself. Don't send it to everybody, don't show it to anybody. But write to your inner past, heal your past. Write a letter to him telling that this is the thing. So just heal yourself. So that way you are writing to yourself and you are healing yourself. Because writing is something more important than a lot of other things what we do. So chapter 10, finding your identity. Not feeling fulfilled. I think this we talk about Lewis House. Was accomplished to people wrong. All of our accomplishment we try to prove others wrong. And that is somehow our fuel of success. If you have somebody just insult you, that is actually a good fuel of lot of things. But the problem is that if you are seeking fulfillment, if you are seeking peace, that's why people who just lose lot of big jobs or something and then go to something spiritual, because if they don't find fulfillment there, that's the thing. Let other people define your identity. That's a problem happening. So identity foreclosure, Adam Grant used to mention, is choosing one identity feel wrong. They choose to find their own identity as feeling wrong like that. So intentionally, what you can do is that intentionally craft your identity or visualize your identity, visualize your greatness identity after something. Then use that as a North Star or something like a direction point which you can follow. Victim, hero, villain, guide. All of our people have, like William James used to tell that we have a manifestation of a lot of identities. So, but a culmination of the same as well. So victim, we are same time maybe a victim, and hero to some other identities, villain to somebody else, guide to somebody else. But that is all for somebody else. You are projecting yourself. If you ask me, what are you? Who are you? Or who are Mr. X? Then your identity is a projection you are doing. Okay, some particular of the topic used to Eric Ben's transaction analysis and all, like parental adulthood, like that. So similar to that, at some point in time, maybe we are a guide to somebody. At some point you are a villain to somebody else. Then you are but all those areas you are trying to just project or present or celebrate your identity there. So that's a point there. So take inventory of your current self, just finding your identity, the steps. Write a meaningful mission manifesto to yourself. Then hone your new skills, what you need to achieve that new identity. And write a letter from your future self to you. Previously we write another letter from now to the past. Now here, just write another. Maybe it looks crazy, but it is interesting, because as long as you are doing it yourself, there is no hesitation to that. Do it in your private time to yourself. Write a letter from your future self back to you. How it looked like. And that's how it is. So chapter 11, mindset in motion cycle. So somehow your thoughts, your emotions, your behavior, that's all mostly you. So your thoughts about things. Your thoughts are your army. There is something called reticular activating system in the brain. That is what takes out all the unimportant things and take that 1% which interests you. So, as per a famous author is to tell that there is 4 things, as per Lovis itself telling, 4 things that reticular activating system or RIS take care. 3 of them is your name. Try to mention. Then the 4th one is what is important to you. So reticular activating system is most, if somebody is talking about you or if something is related to you, your brain is most active there. It will forget everything else. And the 4th one it can take care is something important to you, something meaningful to you, something which you can make yourself here. So use that reticular activating system and find that one. So ask courageous question. So as a person, you can have lot of questions. Like first one is about, I think 4 or 5 questions. Mainly first one is about purity question. How much authentic you are. Because some people think that getting angry is bad. But if you are authentic to yourself, you are supposed to show to the other person, yes, I don't like what you're doing. So this is my reaction to that. So that is authenticity. If your colleague is not doing that particular work, you are telling him, no, this is not good. That is authenticity. So authenticity is not something, okay, you're always a good guy over there. So that's a purity question, how you do differently. Then priority question is the second question. What is the most prioritist thing you tell? So even Peter Drucker used to tell about the famous Jack Welch, that he used to always check about the priorities. Even Steve Jobs used to look at the mirror and he used to tell what is important to me, all this. So priority question, what is really important to me today? What is really important to me this week? What is really important to me 1 month? Even Thomas Edison used to have that, okay, every 10 days small invention, every 1 month a big invention, something like. So a priority question is what you give your attention to your time, which is the most limited resource, and that way attention as well, your time and attention. So then possibility question, what is possible, what is not possible? Such questions are also important for you to understand your identity. passion question. What are you really passionate about? Maybe there is the hint or indicator of your greatness is there in the passion question. Then fifth one is a prosperity question, which naturally abundance. We are all born as abundant. It is nothing is bad about being abundant, being great. You are gifted by that, and God is supposed to make it abundant everywhere. You can see it from the nature, the greatest philosopher. Chapter 13, give yourself permission. Give permission to grow and change. That is important. Because you feel you are not permitting yourself, because we live in somehow, maybe it is a lot of things. Even some people have limitation in expressing their emotions. Some people have expressing their attraction or sexual emotion, a lot of other emotions. We are restricted ourselves, a lot of things. But give yourself permission to be vulnerable, to be grow, to change. You may be something today, but give your permission to change to somebody else, because your future self is awaiting your greatness, and the whole world is waiting for you to, your whole universe is waiting for the same. So give permission to tell no. If there is somebody is going to ask you something, okay, I want this help or that help, you think that there is not going to be fine, tell no. Just be permission to show emotions. Allow yourself to show emotions, but be controlled yours. Same way, even the emotional way or enthusiasm, every good thing, it should be in a controlled manner. If it is delivered, it is fine. So give your permission to be vulnerable and things. So chapter 14, accept the challenge. Accept the challenge to be great. So it can be, as we mentioned, we can do micro goal. We have itinerary per day, but you can still do it for a week. Then you can have challenges for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. That way you can just evaluate your goal. So enemy to your greatness or enemy to most of the achievements is procrastinations, as per Lewishowes. So do it ASAP now. That's the important thing. Even you cannot do very great things, but if you think about something, just do a 0.001% of that particular thing now. Because what is important is that is going to activate your reticular activating system. That is going to activate your dopamine. That is going to give lot of messages to lot of things which you don't know about it. So accept your challenge. Start now. Not start tomorrow. Not start next week. Start now. But maybe you are limited to do lot of things. But whatever you can do by just lying on your bed, just doing nothing, or maybe is to tell that there is some 20-second rule about Netflix, is to tell that if you have worried about something like Netflix, it is morally addicted or something, just try to make that, make it unavailable for 20 seconds. Like if you uninstall the app, then you have to go to browser, you have to type that. If something is more than 20 seconds, then you are going to lose your interest on it. But if something is easily available, okay, you click a button. Now people are addicted most to the mobile phone, because in a click of button you are getting everything. It is less than 20 seconds. But if you have something which you want to remove it, just move something. If for example, even if your phone is addicted, just leave it away at least 20-second distance. So you have to walk 20 seconds to get it somehow. So that's another thing. Protect your time and give deadline. That's really important as well. So when you give deadline, then your mind, there are something like Parkinson's syndrome, student syndrome. Students used to prepare for exam only in the last time, and we try to fit our time based on the deadline and all. There are a lot of such topics in psychology as well. So protect your time, give deadline. Okay, give deadline to your challenges. Okay, in this particular time, so that way your mind will be, attention will be focused on the same way as well. Chapter 15, define your greatness goals. That is important. You can have, as it can be subjective to a lot of people. I'm not going there, but it can be in 3 different ways. Goals are not in one way. Goals is a combination of business goals, which have income, career, a lot of things. Relationship goal in terms of social, and wellness, which is also important about you, your health, your fitness, your peace. Even the book is talking about Robin Sharma used to have a massage every week or something like that. I'm not sure how much it is the thing, but I'm telling you should care ourselves. on that. Start day off right. We're trying to tell, even when you're defining your greatness, what most important thing, just don't search for greatness or something without doing such thing. Start your day off right. Sleep 8 hours, proper sleep. Make my bed. Move my body. Just to find something to move your body, exercise or something. Cold shower, meditation. Basic things Lewis House is trying to explain to us. Enlist support. Accountability to yourself. That's the most important thing. So enlist support is trying to gain support from the people. So accountability to yourself is one of the most interesting thing to have it to others, to community and to yourself. If you are accountable to your actions, if you are accountable to your things, that makes a lot of difference. And if you are accountable to others, you will be similar way. And also you should, even book talks about Novak Djokovic and all. They were trying to have guides and coaches for a lot of different aspects. Even though they are the greatest, but they are still surrounded by a lot of such people having a lot of such guides and all. So feel free to just learn a lot of resources and all these things. That will be important for you. Get stuff done. Compound interest. Compound effect. Battle against perfectionism. Let's talk about Brené Brown and all. We have a channel, Atlas of the Heart and all, in our channel as well from Brené Brown. Have a check on it. So Brené Brown is to tell perfection is not improvement. We think that perfectionist is good. Perfectionism is good. But actually perfectionism is not improvement. It is something like a self-protection. There is no end for something. If you think that perfection is something, then that is something it achieve 100%. But instead, trying the other way, try to do 1% every time. Whatever you do, just to make it 1% better. 1% rule of Thomas Frank. Do what you can, key to get things done. There are some suggestions to get things done. One is to schedule your things. That way you can put a time on do something. Automate lot of things about that. If you have to do something, try to automate most of the things. That may eliminate the 20-second rule and such things. Eliminate the things. Celebrate and be grateful for your small micro goals and all. So that's also important. And chapter 18, you are enough. Celebrate it. Every day celebrate at least 3 things every night. Write a journal to yourself. Be grateful for you. You will have 100 things to write, but at least write 5 things. Conclusion. So I think this is one thing we added recently, just to have just a summary of all the chapters. So generally what it means is that you don't have to limit or limiting mentality or just be okay, I'm fine like this. So instead of that mentality, all have a potential to be great. It is all what matters is the mindset and what you do, act upon it, all the such things. So surround yourself with right people, change your mindset, change your thinking, change your emotions, change your behavior, change your habits, such things, and celebrate, be grateful. Just most importantly, feel you are enough now, and then heal your past, just attract your future, use it as a North Star, move ahead. I think that's somehow a key conclusion. A very interesting book. Please have it. So I think that's all for today. So just buy from book.tips. We'll come back with the next book. In between, feel free to check other books or other things from the channel. Until then, bye for now. Thank you.